Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2019. Thank you so much for joining me today, really appreciate it. And today we are going to be taking a look at a deck that has been requested quite a bit by many people, and it is Rhydon Mill. Now, why Rhydon Mill? Well, the deck focuses on Rhydon in order to use the attack Dirty Work, where you discard the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you play Giovanni's Exile from your hand during this turn, you can discard the top 5 cards instead. So, discarding 5 cards a turn, pretty nice. And then we have potentially Rhyperior to close out a game later on by using Toppling Wind. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So we are going to be focusing on a deck out strategy, and we do have Zoroark GX for support. We do have the ability trait that we can find cards and establish a solid board whilst being able to use Giovanni's as much as we can. Righteous Beating also could be useful, dealing 20 damage for each Pokemon we have in play. We are going to be playing with a bunch of Pokemon a lot of the time, as we do need a lot of Rhydons out, and I am running 2 of the Giratinas with Distortion Door in case we do need to discard stuff, open up space for Giovanni's Exile, although it does say discard up to 2 of your bench Pokemon that have no damage counters on them. So perhaps like the Giratinas are potentially useful if your other stuff has damage. You can just send them back and then they immediately come back, no damage on them, and then you keep discarding them. So I figured at least 1 could be useful, probably 2 is ideal for pricing issues, and with 3 Zorua for Rhyhorn and to Lele, hopefully we don't start too much with it, though it is a risk. Now we do have the 2 Tapu Lele for support as mentioned, and then we are running a Lily engine with 4 Lily, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, and 3 Pokemon Communication. We do have 2 Cynthia, we do have 2 Lieutenant Surge because we are not planning on really doing damage. We're planning on attacking more than anything. So Lieutenant Surge's strategy allows us to play things like Guzma to drop something and Giovanni's Exile, or we can even draw cards with Cynthia plus Giovanni's, or we can heal with Acerola plus Giovanni's. And we do have 2 Palpas to recycle the Giovanni's in case we need to. 2 Bodybuilding Dumbbells to increase the HP of Rhydon and Zoroark as well. 2 Risky Stretcher to make sure that the Rhydons keep on coming, and then the cost is 2 Colorless Energies, so all the triple acceleration energies and the DC will help us in getting attacks off. So I don't have high hopes for this deck, but a lot of people were definitely requesting it, so I figured why not give it a try. And this is my first idea behind the list and the concept. I'm not promising this is going to be the best way to run it or even a viable way to do so, but this made sense in my mind because you do need something to be able to find you more cards every turn in order to be able to afford to use Giovanni's instead of something to set up. And we do lose the coin flip. We seem to be up against potentially Hitmonchan, which is obviously very scary for our Zoruas. So even starting Tapu Lele might have been a decent call, right? Melvin will mulligan, so we will find out more information on his deck. It's actually a Zoroark build, a Zoroark build. So this will be interesting to see if we can potentially deck out my opponent in this kind of Zoroark mirror. The 3 extra cards definitely useful, although maybe not as much actually, because I didn't get too many cards to find me more cards. And then I have no Rhyhorns to set up right now. My opponent does lead with a Professor Kukui though, so very weak start for her. I am able to get DCEs here, but I think I'm just gonna have to Cynthia. Lily for 3 doesn't seem great, and my bench is already being occupied quite heavily. I do have 1 Ultra Ball and 1 Nest Ball priced, so that definitely doesn't help. And I'm thinking I might have to just pressure the Lycanroc after a Zorua goes down, based off of what my opponent is currently using here. Definitely want to bench the Rhyhorn. I can definitely use the Giratina as discard fodder. For that Ultra Ball, the question is, I generally think I'm going to have to set up another Lele. And now benching that Rhyhorn is potentially scary for my Lele. So, overall not great. Overall not a great turn 1 for us here. If we had gone first, then it would be a completely different matter. We see the DC, we see the Stadium, we see the Lycanroc getting evolved. Gonna take out my Rhyhorn. I guess I don't mind that too much. I'd rather lose the Rhyhorn than my DC Lele, because then I can two-shot this guy. And since she's already spent her Kukui, I'm actually not gonna bench anything else. Because then she can just GX me for a KO. Although actually just not setting up doesn't seem like a great idea either. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna discard these two for my other Lele, right? And before we go into discard mode, I do have to like set up, right? So I will go ahead and grab the Lily. I'm gonna Lily for 5 instead of Cynthia for 6, just because I already have a communication, which I really appreciate having here. And then I'll bench the Rhyhorn, and then I'll go ahead and Lily. I'll save the DC for now. I do get bodybuilding dumbbells. I do get a bunch of extra energy. I don't want to establish a Zork, right? I want to make her use up the GX attack here. So yeah, we'll see. But I mean, obviously, Rhydon is not playing a very important role right now. Quite obviously, because their setup has been just a little bit too frail. Not playing the DC might give my opponent a false sense of security that maybe, just maybe, the Lycanroc can be saved. We see her establish another Rockruff, not trying to establish Zork, which I don't mind at all. And we do see the Dangerous Rogue. So that was like part of the plan, I guess. I can now promote the Lele quite safely, and I can evolve here. Once again, I do not think evolving into Zork is a good idea here. Not as long as there's a Lycanroc right there. Yeah, so I'll just Energy Drive. Maybe I would need a Judge to disrupt. My opponent, like Lieutenant Surge into Giovanni's into Judge, seems actually like a viable play. But yeah, if we win this game, it's gonna be more due to my opponent's slow start than the mill, of course. We do see a Nesball, we do see yet another DC for my opponent. So pretty scary looking here. And we do see a Cynthia, so she's relying on finding another Lycanroc. Hopefully, if she does, it's the Guardians Rising one rather than the Team Up one. The Team Up one would actually be pretty scary, as it would get rid of my DCE. The extra damage doesn't matter. However, yeah, there's the Ultra Ball. There is the Ultra Ball. Alright. Yep, there's the Lycanroc. I assume we're gonna see a Bloodthirsty Eyes to take down a Zorua. Exactly why I chose not to evolve into Zork, because this would be another 2 prizes for my opponent. And yeah, it seems like going the deck out route is just not gonna be enough. Definitely feels like a not very good Zork version, honestly. Like without the Zork support, like I don't see how Rhydon, like how you can successfully set up multiple Rhyhorns and Rhydons, all that whilst like actually setting up. I don't know. So I'm kind of liking just setting up Rhyperior, if I'm honest. Just discarding the top 3 cards of my opponent's deck. Did lose Nesball, Stretcher, Lily, which could have been decent cards for her to get. I will go ahead and establish another Rhyhorn right here, because maybe I'll have access to another toppling winds at some point. Pretty interesting that I've been able to pull all of this off whilst not actually having Zork. But yeah, to say we are in trouble would be an understatement. Because it could come down to like our Tapu Lele gets damaged for however much, and then we hopefully are able to retreat and KO with Zork. And Magcargo is definitely gonna mess up with our plans and the Zork. She was holding both cards right there, so yeah, the thing is, she's gonna hit into a Lele, and then all she needs to do is establish a decent board so that next turn she can Guzma KO the Lele wherever it goes. So yeah. Barring a mistake here, I don't foresee us winning this game. The only discard we did was with Rhyperior's Toppling Wind. We never actually used Dirty Work. To see the trade, hopefully my opponent is scared or goes for an Acerola. Does go for a Judge, not the biggest of deals. Not the biggest of deals. There's a Giovanni's Exile. Obviously not going to use that to discard at this point. I'm just going to take the knockout with my Zork and then hope for the best. Right? That's it. Oh, wait. I can Giovanni's Exile. Oh. I can Giovanni's Exile away the Tapu Lele. I had not realized that. Right? I can Giovanni's Exile away the Tapu Lele. And that will prevent me from losing next turn to a Guzma play. Wow. I am very surprised. Okay. So I will go ahead and attach this, and then I will play Giovanni's Exile. I will... Oh, it's only damaged. It's non-damaged Pokemon. Oh my gosh. It says choose up to. Sure. So you have to choose one. I figured you could choose 0, but oh well. Yeah, not great. I genuinely thought I was gonna be able to just get rid of the Lele and win that way. Well, not win, but at least stabilize a little bit. But yeah, my opponent very smartly promotes the Zorua. And I don't think there's anything we can do here. All she needs is to go Smooth Over for either DC or Guzma, whatever card or piece she is actually missing. And then that will be the game. We needed our one of Acerola, which we did not find off of the trade. If we could have Lieutenant Surge, well, if we could have Acerola at the Lele, then maybe we would be talking here. We do the Ultra Ball for Lele for Guzma. There's the Lele. Once she shows the Guzma, we'll just go ahead and concede here. And there it is. Okay, so GG to my opponent. Definitely not the best deck to face in terms of this matchup. Going first, I can see being a really big-ish advantage, but also disadvantage. I don't know. It's complicated. Definitely complicated. Why do I have check marks on the rewards? Oh, okay. There we go. Apparently, if you click play before that starts loading, then everything has a check mark. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So we're looking for our next opponent here. Okay. So I'll call heads. Revenant King is going first, so once again, immediately we are at a small disadvantage. Decent-ish, and I don't know what I'm up against. I kind of like starting the Giratina. Yeah, we're gonna try full on, like we're not gonna attack. We're just gonna go full on deck out mode this time. Definitely bench these two guys. Hopefully my opponent can take down the Giratina on turn 2. That is what we want him to do. And maybe he will, maybe he won't. We do see the Squirtle, do see the attachment, we do see a Cynthia. This has free retreat if there's a stadium card in play. There's a free retreat. That helps us in getting out a Rhyhorn, which I do not mind at all. And are we weak to water? No, we're weak to grass. Okay, so the Articuno is also not a big deal here for us. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to Ultra Ball away these two. For a Zorua. And I'll go ahead and Brooklet Hill for a Rhyhorn. Right, that seems like a good call. And I'm going to Lily for 7. Big difference from the previous game. We have a much better looking board. Hopefully we can go into the deck out mode against my opponent. Double Zorg, definitely what you're looking to get. The triple, this retreat for Giratina is not great. I don't think I'm going to attach energy either, and I'll just pass. Probably not going to be able to Giovanni's Exile next turn. Now I regret not starting with the Rhyhorn, because it could have taken an attack from the Articuno. And then I would have been able, potentially, to start milling my opponent's deck. So there's the Blastoise. This is looking like a pure Blastoise GX deck, which I would not be surprised if that was the case. Articuno, only 1, but has the energy attachment from hand. He is down to 32 cards, so that is definitely good news. I do find that Lieutenant Surge's strategy, we are not behind in prize cards just yet, so not too relevant here. Definitely gonna be evolving all of these guys, definitely attaching there, and I generally think going for Cynthia is good here. Get 6 brand new cards, and then I'm looking for Giovanni's Exile to just start powering through my opponent's deck sometime soon. Now, Lele gets me that Giovanni's Exile. I believe I can get rid of one of these, or I can definitely get rid of the Rhyperior, I feel. Yeah, Lele gets me the Giovanni's Exile for next turn. I can bring back the Giratina and then get rid of that, or even get rid of the Lele if I so need to, and then I'm gonna pass. I'm not gonna attach the bodybuilding dumbbells anywhere just yet. I'm really hoping my opponent will KO me. We see another Articuno getting played. We do see a powerful Squall being utilized for 0 cards. Oh wow, so my opponent whiffing the powerful Squall just delays our our attack even more, which not ideal, but not the end of the world either. We get the first Giovanni's Exile right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass here. If I could attach triple acceleration and energy to retreat, I would not have hesitated to do that. Fortunately, that is not something I can do. Do the powerful Squall, we do the attachment. My opponent not doing much else afterwards, and well, like I mentioned, like he is actually deck thinning. He chooses not to. He chooses not to attack. That is an issue. That is definitely an issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and Pulpad back the Acerola, and now I'm gonna try and find that Acerola, because then I can Lieutenant Surge's strategy plus Acerola plus Giovanni's Exile into discarding the top 5 cards. Not gonna happen just yet, so I will go ahead and pass here. And then very smartly realizing that if he KOs this Giratina before he's fully set up, he might be in trouble. Do see a Lily for 2, nothing big. Do see the powerful Squall. can we find Acerol level? Yeah, this was my fear, starting the Giratina. My opponent does go for the knockout, that is fine. 25 cards left in my opponent's deck. He can put energy back into the deck, right? But he might have trouble retreating this Articuno as well, which is definitely good news for us. This Rhyhorn top deck is really, really nice. So my Giovanni's Exile will go towards the Lele, right? I think I can start buying up the Rhydons. I do think I should start trading, however, or I should continue to trade. This guy I have 2 stretchers, so I don't really need that right now. I also don't need the Nest Ball anymore. And here we go. First Giovanni's Exile, discarding Lele, and we're gonna go ahead and dirty work. Discarding the top 5, double max potions, not relevant. Switch, potentially relevant. Brooklet Hill and Cynthia. The Cynthia I really like, and the switch as well. The other 3 cards, probably not too important, but that's okay. We might see a Guzma play here onto my Rhydon, or onto a Zoroark. It is onto Rhydon, definitely don't mind that at all. 19 cards left for my opponent. He will go ahead and Hydro Tackle, deals damage to himself, but I have a feeling I should be able to chain enough Giovanni's Exiles and Rhydons for me to deck my opponent out. So I'll be putting these 3 guys back, maybe not the Rhyperior, maybe the Lele, and then I will go ahead and Brooklet Hill for a Rhyhorn pretty nicely. And then with the bodybuilding dumbbells, I still get knocked out, right? So there's no point in attaching the bodybuilding dumbbells to a Rhydon. I definitely should evolve here. I definitely should attach. And then I will go ahead and Distortion Door onto the Squirtles. Right? Double Distortion Door could actually pressure my opponent quite a bit. Definitely need to trade, however. So I will trade the Zorua. And then I will trade the Nest Ball. So I have infinite Nest Balls with the Brooklet on the Pokemon that I care about. And then, okay, so this is interesting. Do I want a Guzma, the Articuno? Do I want a Guzma, the Articuno? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 energy in play. How many does my opponent play? 10 energy total. I'm kind of liking doing that, so I should do it with Lieutenant Surge, however. So I'll Guzma the Articuno, bring up the other Rhydon, and then I will go ahead and Giovanni's Exile away the Giratina. And I will go for the dirty work. Okay, so we finally got the deck to the point where we needed to. 1 water and 1 Guzma gone off of that dirty work. That is huge. That is actually huge. We do see another rare candy. Finally, the Blastoise GX makes an appearance. 13 cards left in my opponent's deck. I might need the help of a Rhyperior next turn, potentially. Fails the Powerful Squall, which is huge here. Does have the Wartortle. Does my opponent have another Guzma, the 3rd Guzma? No, it just goes with Simpson. Perfect. And has overused the Powerful Squall. So if I get a free dirty work here, I'm fairly certain that's gonna be game. I'm fairly certain that's gonna be game. We see the Stretcher. Gonna put back the Blastoise in hand instead of replenishing his deck. I don't mind that at all. Oh, he grabbed the Water Doll, but then chose not to evolve. Okay, so he's going to go for another Powerful Squall and fails it. I mean, I can't imagine he has too many energy left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So our Giovanni's Exile tactic ends up working out pretty nicely. So I'll go ahead and Distortion Door. The damage doesn't matter. And then I do believe going for Palpad would be good to put back 2 Giovanni's Exiles back into the deck. And then I also believe I should be using Rescue Stretcher to shuffle back these 2 guys and a Lele, I guess, into my deck. And then here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and Lieutenant Surges once again. I will go ahead and Giovanni's Exile to get rid of this guy. And then I will end up using Brooklet Hill to establish another Rhyhorn. And I will go ahead and Cynthium. Lieutenant Surge's strategy is pretty good in this deck where you never attack. And then I'll go ahead and trade number 1. 14 cards left in my deck, so I am pretty close to getting decked out myself. I will go ahead and trade number 2 onto the Lily. No Giovanni's Exile, however. For us, I am guaranteed one with Lele, so that's fine. And then basically a double Rhyperior next turn, or one more Giovanni's Exile. As long as my opponent doesn't replenish his deck, should be good here. Dirty Work, we hit another water. Bills and Lily not relevant. Water, the relevant card there was the water energy. There's 3 in the discard pile, plus 9 in play, that's 12. Does go for the powerful squall, does not have any water energy left in the deck, and we get the victory. So we were able to deck someone out. Definitely the pressure, or the no early pressure, helped us in stabilizing and being able to have a huge hand, which also didn't get let loose or judged or anything at any point. Giratina ends up being our MVP by dealing 40 damage with its ability, but we were able to deck someone out with Rhydon, so that makes me very, very happy. Definitely did not expect that. But yeah, guys, anyways, that will be all for Rhydon. I'd love to see other Rhydon concepts that you have available. I guess this would also work with Salazzle. You would also be able to Welder onto Rhydon, plus burning a lot of fire energy, so maybe that's a little bit better with all the fire support that is out there, and Salazzle does get you an extra card as opposed to Zork, so I wouldn't be opposed to trying something like that. Definitely interested in seeing what you guys can come up with for Rhydon, so let me know in the comment section down below if you're watching. Don't forget to leave a like, really helps out the channel, and I will catch you guys in our next video. Bye bye.